Have you ever noticed how some men walk into a room and women light up around them without him even saying a word? Most guys never realize this, folks. They think charisma is about looks, money, or being the loudest. So they try harder. They talk more. They crack more jokes. They over-explain, overshare, and overperform. Then they go home wondering why women seem warm, polite, even friendly, but not truly drawn in. Here is the truth most men never get told. Women notice things about you that you are not even aware of. The way your voice moves, the way your eyes hold contact, the way your body claims space or folds in on itself, the way you stay calm when other men get shaky. These tiny details decide in seconds whether she feels simple respect for you or quiet magnetic attraction. The good news is this: charisma is not a gift that some lucky men are born with and you missed out on. Real masculine charisma is a set of habits, choices, and disciplines that you can build no matter how old you are or where you are starting from. Today we are going to break down the signs that you are already more charismatic than you think and how women are picking up on it even when they say nothing. Let's get into it. Number 1. The spark women feel instantly. Let's be real, folks. Women feel charisma long before they understand it. A man can walk into a room, open his mouth for 10 seconds, and something in her body responds before her mind has time to catch up. It's not looks, it's not height, it's not money. It's the spark she picks up instantly when a man knows how to speak in a way that hits her emotionally, not logically. This spark comes from something simple. The way you communicate creates feeling, not just information. Most men talk in straight lines. They explain, they list facts, they stay literal. But charismatic men speak in images, energy, and emotion. They use metaphors, stories, pacing, and tone. They create atmosphere with their words. And atmosphere is what she reacts to. Look at Greg, age 54, a project manager from Ohio. Greg was never the loudest guy in the room, and he never tried to be. But whenever he spoke, people listened, especially women. At a company retreat, he told a short story about getting lost during a fishing trip with his brother. Nothing dramatic, nothing glamorous. But the way he told it, the rhythm, the humor, the little emotional beats, made the entire group lean in. Sitting across from him was Dana, 51, divorced, confident, sharp. She didn't expect to notice him, yet she caught herself smiling at every pause he made, feeling drawn into his story without meaning to. That is charisma. That is the spark. Women are wired to respond to emotional influence. When your communication has color, when you use metaphors, tension, playful exaggeration, or a little mystery, you bypass her logical brain and speak directly to the part of her that feels. Men forget this. They think clarity equals strength. But clarity without emotion is forgettable, and charisma is the opposite of forgettable. Research in psychology backs this up. People trained to use charismatic speaking habits, metaphor, storytelling, vocal dynamics, were consistently rated as more magnetic, more trustworthy, and more attractive. Not because they became different people, but because they learned how to make others feel something. Women feel this especially strongly because their attraction system is relational, not mechanical. They respond to tone, pacing, breath, subtle tension, things most men overlook completely. And here's another real example. When Dana talked to Greg privately after the event, she said, "You tell stories like you're painting something." She didn't realize she was revealing something deeper. She felt him more than she heard him. That is the spark women feel instantly. They don't think, "This man is charismatic." They think, "I want to hear him again." The beauty is, you don't have to perform. You don't have to act. You just have to stop communicating like a robot and start communicating like a man who is aware of the energy behind his words. Slow down. Add a pause. Add a metaphor. Add a story. Add a shift in tone when the moment calls for it. When your voice carries emotion, she feels it in her chest. If you're ready to create that spark without trying too hard, drop a comment saying, "I speak vividly." Stay with me because the next part reveals why your voice, not your looks, pulls women closer before you even realize it. Number 2. The voice that pulls her closer. Let's talk about something most men never pay attention to, my friend. Your voice. Not the sound of it, not whether it's deep or smooth, but the way you use it. Women respond to vocal expression more strongly than they respond to looks, height, or even the words themselves. A charismatic man doesn't just speak. He uses his voice like an instrument. And that instrument can pull a woman closer before she even understands why. Most men talk in a flat line. Same pitch, same speed, same volume. No emotional movement, no rhythm, no intention. And then they wonder why women lose interest halfway through a conversation. But when your voice carries texture, when your pitch shifts naturally, when your pacing slows or speeds at the right moment, when your tone matches the emotion you create, an invisible pull. She feels it before she processes it. Research shows that vocal expressiveness is one of the strongest markers of charisma. People trained to use varied pitch, controlled volume, and dynamic pacing were consistently seen as more confident, more engaging, and more attractive. You're not trying harder, you're communicating in a way that activates her emotional system. Men talk to exchange information. Women listen to feel connection. And your voice is the bridge. The Stoics understood this long before psychology put language to it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Let your speech be true, simple, and calm." Calm doesn't mean lifeless. Calm means intentional. A grounded man doesn't rush. He doesn't fill every silence. He doesn't let anxiety speed up his words. His voice carries steadiness. And steadiness feels safe, powerful, and masculine to a woman. A masculine voice isn't just deep, it is controlled. A deep voice without control sounds aggressive, but a calm, grounded voice signals emotional discipline. Women notice when you speak slowly enough to choose your words, but boldly enough to let silence do the work. That silence isn't empty. It creates tension. And tension, when steady, is attractive. Another thing, charismatic men emphasize certain words without raising their volume. They let meaning come through tone, not force. They drop into a lower register when something matters. They soften their tone when the moment turns intimate or emotional. They allow breath to shape the rhythm. These tiny shifts create a physical reaction in her body. She leans in, not consciously but instinctively. On the flip side, when a man speaks with nervous speed, constant disclaimers, or a shaky tone, she feels that too. Women read vocal cues with unbelievable precision. If your voice suggests uncertainty, it doesn't matter how strong you are physically, your presence weakens. But when your voice says, "I'm here, I'm grounded, and I mean what I say," she feels it immediately. This is why your voice can pull her closer from across a room. It's not seduction, it's resonance. Your voice becomes something she remembers, something she anticipates, something she replays later without knowing why. And the best part, you don't need to perform. You don't need to imitate anyone. You just need to slow down, breathe deeper, and speak from your center instead of your nerves. When your voice comes from strength, she feels the strength. If you're ready to use your voice like a signal instead of a tool, drop a comment saying, "I speak with power." Stay with me because the next part reveals why your body language, not your words, is what she reads as desire. Number 3. The body language she reads as desire. Let's be honest, my friend. Women notice your body long before they notice your words. Not your muscles, not your clothes, but the way you carry yourself. A woman reads posture, energy, micro-expressions, and spatial behavior with unbelievable accuracy. She can tell within seconds whether you're nervous, confident, needy, or grounded. And she can feel desire from you, even when you haven't said a single flirtatious word. This is why charismatic men stand out without trying. Their body language communicates intention, steadiness, and quiet desire, and women respond to that instinctively. Take Mark, a 57-year-old sales director from North Carolina. After a long stretch of being single, he met Claire, 55, at a friend's backyard barbecue. He didn't try to impress her. He didn't move fast. He didn't hover. What caught her attention was something far simpler: the way he stood. His shoulders relaxed, his chest open, his feet grounded, his hands calm. No fidgeting, no anxious movement, no shrinking himself. He occupied his space like a man who respected himself. Women feel that. Later in the evening, when Mark and Claire finally spoke, he angled his body slightly toward her, not aggressively, not chasing, just opening his posture enough to show interest without pressure. This tiny shift is something women read instantly. Open posture signals confidence. It signals masculine warmth. It signals desire without desperation. Claire felt something in that moment, not because he touched her, but because his presence invited her without demanding anything. This is the part most men miss. Attraction is not built through constant motion or trying to look cool. It's built through stillness, openness, and emotional steadiness. A man who stands tall, moves intentionally, and controls his gestures gives off a subtle sexual energy. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's deeply masculine. Women love it because it makes them feel safe and desired at the same time. Here's what charismatic body language looks like. You keep your shoulders open, not curled inward. You let your arms rest naturally, not crossed or shielded. You make eye contact with warmth, not intensity. You lean in slightly when something matters, not constantly. You take your time when you move instead of rushing. Every one of these signals invites her to feel you, not just see you. And here's the deeper layer: women respond to warmth in your body language. When you soften your face slightly, when your smile is genuine instead of forced, when your gestures match the emotional tone, you become approachable in a way that feels meaningful, not performative. Warmth plus strength is irresistible. Too much strength without warmth feels cold. Too much warmth without strength feels weak. The balance is what creates charisma. This is why Claire kept looking at Mark, even before he said a word to her. His posture made her curious. His grounded energy made her feel at ease. His subtle lean toward her made her feel desired. And the fact he didn't overdo any of it made him stand out even more. When you use your body with intention, you communicate confidence, interest, and masculine presence without speaking. Women are wired to pick up on that more quickly than men will ever fully understand. If you're ready to carry yourself in a way that speaks louder than words, drop a comment saying, "I move with intent." Don't go anywhere, because the next part reveals why posture alone can make you unforgettable to her even before the first conversation starts. Number 4. The posture that makes you unforgettable. Let's be real, folks. Before you say a single word, before she ever hears your voice or learns your name, she reads your posture. A woman can scan a room in 3 seconds and know exactly which men carry themselves with confidence and which ones are shrinking into the background. Your posture is the first story you tell. And if that story shows strength, calm, and presence, she remembers you far longer than you realize. We're not talking about bodybuilding posture or a puffed-up performance. We're talking about expansive, grounded posture, shoulders open, chest relaxed, spine, tall movements unhurried. This is posture that communicates inner stability, not insecurity wrapped as bravado. When a man stands like he trusts himself, women feel it. They feel it in the same instinctive way they sense confidence in a leader or steadiness in a protector. You've seen it yourself. Two men can look identical in terms of age, build, or clothing, yet one of them stands out instantly. Not because he's louder, not because he's younger, but because his posture says, "I'm centered, I'm in control of myself." That's charisma before charisma ever speaks. Psychology research backs this up. Studies on expansive posture show that when a person opens their body, taking up space instead of compressing themselves, they are perceived as more competent, more trustworthy, and more influential. Even if hormone studies have mixed results, the subjective truth is undeniable. When you stand like a man who matters, people treat you like a man who matters. And women, they feel it even more strongly. A woman's nervous system picks up on your emotional state through your body before your words. If your posture is tight, hunched, or defensive, she reads stress. If your posture is open, relaxed, and intentional, she reads confidence. She reads desire without desperation. She reads presence without pressure. The Stoics understood this centuries before modern research. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." He wasn't talking about muscles. He was talking about stance, the stance of your mind, the way you meet the world. When your posture reflects inner discipline, you move through life like a man who chooses his direction instead of reacting to everything around him. Here's what women notice instantly. A man who takes up space looks like he belongs. A man with an open chest looks unafraid. A man with steady shoulders looks dependable. A man who stands tall looks like he can carry himself, and possibly her world too. When you enter a room with grounded posture, you don't just appear confident. You appear emotionally available, without being needy, strong without being aggressive, relaxed without being passive. That balance is magnetic. It's masculine charisma in its purest form. And here's the best part. Posture is one of the easiest traits to improve. A few mindful adjustments before you walk into a date, a meeting, or a social event can shift how everyone, especially women, responds to you. If you're ready to start using your posture as a quiet signal of strength, drop a comment saying, "I stand grounded." And my friend, if you want to go deeper into mastering real masculine charisma, presence, voice, emotional control, stoic confidence, join the private membership. That's where we break down the skills that actually change how women respond to you. The link is below. Stay tuned because the next part reveals why your storytelling, not your logic, is what gets under her skin in ways she never sees coming. Number 5. The story that gets under her skin. Let's get real, folks. Women don't fall for facts. They fall for stories, specifically the stories that reveal how a man feels life rather than how he explains it. A compelling story cuts through her logic and goes straight into her emotional memory. It gets under her skin in a way no brag, no statistic, and no fun fact ever could. And most men have no idea how powerful this is. A charismatic man doesn't just share information. He shares a moment, a shift, a struggle, a feeling. He paints a picture instead of giving a report. And women remember pictures. They remember emotions. They remember the way the story made them feel close to him without him trying to be impressive. Look at someone like Anthony, 48 years old, from Colorado. Solid guy, quiet confidence, nothing flashy. During a group dinner, someone asked him why he enjoys hiking. Anthony didn't give a generic, "I like being outdoors." Instead, he told a short story about getting caught in a sudden storm during a trail run last fall. As he spoke, he used simple but vivid details: cold rain hitting his back, the smell of pine the moment he reached a ridge and saw the sky clearing. He slowed down at the emotional parts, sped up at the exciting parts, and let silence do the work between sentences. Across the table sat Melissa, 46, a marketing director who had dated plenty of men who talked endlessly about themselves without ever saying anything meaningful. But Anthony's story hit differently. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't forced. It was alive. She felt like she was standing on that ridge with him. She felt the chill, the relief, the adrenaline. That emotional connection is what got under her skin, not the storm him. This is exactly what research shows. When someone tells a story well, the pacing, the imagery, the emotional beats, people activate the same sensory regions in their brain as if they were experiencing the moment themselves. A good story lets her live inside your world for a few seconds, and the moment she enters your world, she feels closer to you. But here's the mistake men make. They tell stories like a checklist. No tension, no emotion, no sensory detail. Just a beginning, a middle, and a boring end. A story needs shape. It needs a rise, a dip, a pause. It needs the feeling behind the facts. Think of it like this. A story is not a timeline. A story is a doorway. And when you open that doorway, she steps in. Your goal is not to impress her. Your goal is to reveal a piece of your inner world in a way she can actually feel. Women crave emotional texture, moments of bravery, moments of vulnerability, moments where things didn't go perfectly, but you kept moving anyway. These aren't weaknesses. These are the parts of you she connects to. Anthony didn't win Melissa over with charm. He won her over with a story that carried meaning. That's charisma. That's masculine subtlety. That's emotional leadership. If you're ready to tell stories that leave a mark, drop a comment saying, "I speak emotion." Stick with me, because the next part reveals why true confidence has nothing to do with volume and everything to do with how you deliver your truth. Number 6. The confidence she can't ignore. Let's be honest, my friend. Most men don't lose women because they're unattractive. They lose women because they sound unsure of themselves. Confidence is not about shouting, bragging, or dominating a conversation. Real confidence is the steady delivery of a man who knows what he thinks, knows what he feels, and doesn't apologize for existing. Women pick up on this instantly, and it changes the entire way they respond to you. Here's the truth: most men don't want to hear your words matter less than the way you deliver them. A man can say something smart, but if he packages it in timid tone, soft disclaimers, or nervous pacing, she will feel the weakness before she hears the meaning. On the other hand, a simple statement delivered with calm conviction hits her in the chest. Women hear confidence emotionally, not academically. This is why charismatic men stand out, even when their sentences aren't special. They remove unnecessary softness from their speech. They don't hide behind phrases like, "I might be wrong, but," or "this probably doesn't matter." They don't drown their message in disclaimers meant to protect their ego. They speak clearly, directly, and with purpose. And this isn't aggression. This isn't ego. This is ownership. The Stoics understood this long before we had terms for it. Seneca wrote, "A man is not moved by the world, but by the view he takes of it." A confident man doesn't speak from fear of how others will react. He speaks from the truth he stands on. His voice, his pacing, his posture, they all reflect a steady internal world. And a steady man is a rare man. Women feel this difference immediately. Confidence shows up in small places. The way you pause before responding. The way you keep your tone level instead of rushing. The way you avoid over-explaining. The way you say what you mean without dancing around it. Women don't want a man who bulldozes conversations, but they also don't want a man who tiptoes through every sentence. The masculine center lives right between those two extremes, assertive without being pushy, calm without being passive. When you speak from that middle ground, she feels safe with you and attracted to you in the same breath. Here's what confident delivery sounds like. You speak slower than your nerves want you to. You look at her while speaking, not away from her. You drop unnecessary words and keep only what matters. You allow silence to exist without panicking. Silence is especially powerful. Weak men fill it with chatter. Confident men let it hang. And the surprising thing, women don't interpret that silence as awkward. They interpret it as presence. In fact, research shows that people see leaders as more intelligent and more charismatic when they speak with measured pacing and fewer filler words. Even if the actual content is identical, your delivery changes how your mind is perceived. And here's the best part. This form of confidence is trainable. You don't need to be born with it. You just need to practice speaking like a man who respects his own thoughts. When you stop apologizing for your existence, women stop overlooking you. If you're ready to communicate with conviction instead of insecurity, drop a comment saying, "I speak boldly." Stay tuned, because the next part reveals why warmth, not toughness, is what melts her guard and pulls her emotionally closer than confidence alone ever could. Number 7. The warmth that melts her guard. Let's get something straight, my friend. Confidence may get her attention, but warmth is what lowers her guard. A man who is confident but cold feels unreachable. A man who is warm but weak feels uninteresting. But a man who carries strength and warmth at the same time, that combination hits a woman in a place she stopped letting most people access years ago. Warmth is not softness. Warmth is presence mixed with humanity. It's the moment she feels that you're not hiding behind a mask. Warmth shows up in your eyes, your smile, your tone, your reactions, and when you express it in a grounded, masculine way, it creates a psychological opening in her she cannot fake and cannot resist. This is what women mean when they say, "He just felt different." Look at someone like Thomas, a 52-year-old logistics director from Minnesota. Strong guy, composed, respected. But what made him stand out wasn't his resume. It was the way he talked about things he cared about. At a dinner gathering, he started telling a story about restoring an old motorcycle with his father before he passed. As he spoke, his expression softened, not weak, not emotional, in a dramatic way, just real. Sitting across from him was Alyssa, 49, a nurse who had grown tired of men who acted like nothing touched them. But when Thomas's face warmed while talking about that memory, something in her shifted. He wasn't trying to impress her. He wasn't performing vulnerability. He was simply being a man with depth. That warmth melted her guard in seconds. This is the part most men misunderstand. Warmth is not about revealing secrets or oversharing emotions. It's about letting your natural passion, humor, or sincerity show through instead of suppressing it out of fear. When you talk about something that matters to you, your craft, your kids, your hobbies, your struggles, your face becomes more expressive, your voice gains texture, your energy opens up, and a woman reads that instantly. Why does this matter? Because warmth signals trustworthiness. Women don't attach emotionally to stone walls. They attach to men who show just enough humanity that she feels safe relaxing around them. When you carry emotional warmth, you show her that you're strong enough to feel without losing yourself. That balance is unbelievably attractive. Warmth also has a subtle sexual undertone. Not sexual in a blunt or forward way, but sexual in the sense that your energy feels alive. A cold man feels emotionally distant. A warm man feels present, engaged, attentive. Women respond to that attentiveness because it makes them feel chosen, not chased. And here's the reality: many men lose their natural warmth as they age. They become guarded, tired, or stuck in logic. But charismatic men, men who women remember, never completely shut off that spark. They let themselves laugh. They let themselves enjoy a conversation. They let a soft smile show up at the right moment. They let their voice lighten when something amuses them. These little signals tell her you're not numb to life. And women do not fall for numb men. Warmth does not weaken your masculinity. It amplifies it. Strength without warmth feels intimidating. Warmth without strength feels unstable. Strength with warmth feels irresistible. If you're ready to carry warmth that lowers her guard instantly, drop a comment saying, "I lead warmly." Stay with me, because the next part reveals why emotional control, not emotional intensity, is what truly turns her on at a deeper level. Number 8. The emotional control that turns her on. Let's talk about a quality that separates men she respects from men she desires, my friend. Emotional control. Not coldness, not suppression, not pretending nothing affects you. I'm talking about the masculine discipline to feel something, pressure, stress, temptation, even anger, and still choose your response. Women find that unbelievably attractive because it signals strength at the deepest psychological level. Most men misunderstand emotional control. They think it means shutting down or avoiding emotion. But that's not control, that's fear wearing a mask. Real control is presence under pressure. It's your ability to stay grounded when the moment wants to pull you off center. And a woman feels this instantly. When she sees a man who can hold himself steady, her body relaxes and her attraction rises. The Stoics built their entire philosophy on this principle. Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That wasn't poetry, it was instruction. The man who cannot regulate his emotions is ruled by them. The man who can is magnetic. Women trust him. They lean toward him. They open up around him because he brings structure to the space instead of chaos. Here's what emotional control looks like in real time. A woman tests your boundaries. You don't snap or lecture. You hold your line calmly. A conversation gets tense. You slow down instead of rushing forward defensively. You feel attraction. You don't push. You allow the moment to build naturally. Someone disrespects you. You respond with clarity, not aggression. This kind of stability signals that you're not reactive. You're not unpredictable. And unpredictability is what makes women pull away. But steady masculine energy, that's what makes them feel safe enough to lean in closer. Most men lose their control the moment emotions rise. They talk faster, breathe harder, interrupt more, fill silence, over-explain, or try to fix everything instantly. All those behaviors come from anxiety, and anxiety kills attraction. Women aren't judging your logic, they're feeling your state. If your state is shaky, your presence weakens. But if your state remains grounded, you become the anchor she didn't know she was looking for. Emotional control also makes you more sexually attractive in a subtle but powerful way. A man who stays calm under emotional heat gives off a quiet dominance, not the loud, aggressive kind, but the controlled, self-led kind. It tells her you don't rely on her reactions to feel stable. You bring your own stability, and that stability is what heightens desire. She feels like she's in the presence of a man who can handle intensity, not just physical intensity, but emotional intensity too. This is why emotional control is not just a virtue, it's a masculine signal. It shows her you are dependable, level-headed, and capable of holding space for both yourself and for her. Even your silence becomes attractive when it's grounded. A calm pause from a centered man says more than 100 rushed words. And here's the key: emotional control can be practiced. You don't have to be born with it. Slow your breathing before responding. Drop your shoulders, lower your tone. Choose pacing that reflects intention, not panic. The moment you stop letting your emotions drive the car, she starts seeing you differently. If you're ready to embody the kind of emotional steadiness women crave, drop a comment saying, "I stay grounded." Stay tuned, because the next part reveals why empathy, not logic, is what deepens her attraction and makes her feel understood in ways other men simply can't. Number 9. The empathy that deepens her attraction. Let's be real, folks. A lot of men think empathy is some soft, overly sensitive trait. Something women want in theory, but never respect in practice. And that's because most men misunderstand what real masculine empathy looks like. Empathy is not collapsing into her emotions. It's not fixing everything she says. It's not making her problems your identity. Empathy is the ability to understand her inner world while staying firmly rooted in your own. And that balance, that's what deepens her attraction more than almost anything else. Women are emotional by design, not dramatic emotional. They process the world through connection, cues, tone, and meaning. A man who can read that, respond to it, and hold space for it without losing himself stands out more than he realizes. Take someone like Ryan, a 45-year-old electrician from Arizona, solid, grounded, logical. He met a woman named Jenna, 44, through a mutual friend. Early on, Jenna opened up about feeling overwhelmed at work and unsure if she still wanted to stay in her career. Most men would jump in with advice. They'd try to fix it, solve it, or redirect it. But Ryan did something different. He just listened. He kept eye contact. He nodded when something clearly mattered to her. And when he finally spoke, he said something simple. "Sounds like this has been sitting heavy on you for a while." That one line made Jenna stop talking mid-sentence. Why? Because she felt understood, not analyzed. That is empathy. Not emotional labor, not rescuing, not over-identifying, just presence. Women melt for this, not because they need saving, but because most men are incapable of truly listening. They listen to respond, not to understand. They listen with their ego, not their presence. But a charismatic man listens with calm attentiveness. He listens to learn her, not to fix her, or to prove anything about himself. Empathy also shows up in your energy, not just your words. When a woman shares something vulnerable, your reaction matters more than your reply. If you look uncomfortable, irritated, or dismissive, she closes off instantly. But when your expression softens just a little, when your posture stays open, when your tone remains steady, she feels safe, not coddled safe. Safe to reveal, safe to connect, safe to trust. Here's what men don't realize. Empathy does not weaken your masculinity. It strengthens it. A woman is drawn to a man who can feel with her but not fall apart with her. She craves a man who can understand her emotions while still leading with his own clarity. That combination is rare, and rare is attractive. Empathy also has a subtle sexual undertone. Not physical sexuality, emotional sexuality. When she feels seen by you, she opens up more. When she opens up more, connection deepens. When connection deepens, attraction rises. It's a chain reaction she may not consciously notice, but her body and mind absolutely respond to it. Men who lack empathy create distance. Men who smother with empathy create imbalance. But a man who listens with strength creates desire. If you're ready to understand women without losing yourself, drop a comment saying, "I listen deeply." Let's keep going, because the next part reveals why discipline, not impulse, is what makes your charisma unforgettable to her. Number 10. The discipline that makes you truly irresistible. My friend, if there is one quality that separates a charismatic man from every other man in the room, it is discipline, not talent, not charisma by birth, not luck. Discipline. Women may notice your confidence, your voice, your posture, your warmth. But what makes you irresistible is the consistency behind all of those traits. Discipline is what proves that your presence isn't an act, it's who you are. Men forget this. They think a single good moment makes them attractive. A strong conversation, a confident smile, a powerful story. But women don't fall for moments. They fall for patterns. They fall for the man who shows up to life with structure, direction, and self-control. A man who leads himself can lead a relationship. A man who cannot lead himself becomes a burden. Discipline begins with the smallest things. The way you keep promises to yourself, the way you control impulses, the way you choose long-term gain over short-term comfort. Women watch these things quietly. They watch how you handle stress, how you take care of your body, how you treat your responsibilities. They watch whether you follow through, and their attraction rises or falls based on what they see. Stoicism is built on this exact principle. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That is discipline, not talking about your values, living them, not seeking praise, embodying the kind of man who doesn't need it. When your actions reflect self-governance, you stand out in a world full of men ruled by impulse. Here's why discipline is so attractive to women. A disciplined man is predictable in the best way. He doesn't explode under pressure. He doesn't fall apart when something goes wrong. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't avoid discomfort. His emotional world is stable because his habits are stable. Women don't just respect this, they feel drawn to it. It tells them that you can hold yourself steady and, by extension, steady the space around you. This is also where sexual polarity deepens. A man with discipline has a stronger masculine frame. His restraint makes his desire feel more intentional. His self-control adds weight to his touch, his words, his presence. Women feel safer, more desired, and more open around a man who is in control of himself. Chaos repels them. Structure pulls them in. But discipline isn't about perfection. It's about direction. It's about choosing who you are becoming rather than drifting into whoever your environment shapes you to be. A charismatic man doesn't wait for motivation. He builds habits that move him forward, whether he feels like it or not. Discipline is the proof that your masculinity has depth. It's the backbone of everything else she finds attractive in you. It affects how you look at her, how you speak to her, how you touch her, how you lead moments without controlling them, how you stay calm when she tests your boundaries. Discipline shows her that your confidence isn't temporary, that your emotional steadiness isn't luck, that your charisma isn't a performance. It tells her that your strength is real, and real strength is unforgettable. When a man masters himself, his habits, his impulses, his thoughts, he becomes rare, and rarity is irresistible. This is the point where attraction turns into respect, respect turns into trust, and trust turns into something deeper than desire. A disciplined man doesn't just get attention, he keeps it. And that, my friend, is what makes you truly irresistible. My friend, everything we covered today points to one truth. Charisma isn't luck. It's the way you speak, the way you move, the way you hold yourself, and the way you lead your emotions. When you combine strength, warmth, control, and discipline, women feel it instantly. And that's what makes you unforgettable. If you want to go deeper and build these skills at a level most men never reach, join the private membership. That's where the real transformation happens. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss tomorrow's lesson. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you tomorrow.